people, it's me, Anja, my pronouns are she and her, and welcome back to my channel for my October TBR. September has been such a great, successful reading month that I really hope that October is the same. So anyway, the first book on this list is called A Scatter of Light. For those who don't know, this book comes out the 4th of October, and it's a YA contemporary coming-of-age queer story set against the backdrop of the first major Supreme Court decisions legalizing gay marriage, and it's set 60 years after Last Night at the Telegraph Club, which is one of my almost favorite books of 2021, and I really enjoyed it. So naturally, I have very, very high expectations for this book, because I just think that it's going to be so good and absolutely so awesome. Like, the concept sounds so cool, and I'm so excited to read this book. I've been trying to read more and more queer historical fiction books, especially more sapphic ones, so I'm so excited to read this book. It's going to be so awesome and so well done, because like I mentioned, Last Night at the Telegraph Club was absolutely so amazing, and it's totally worth all of its hype and so much more. So anyway, all that to say, A Scatter of Light comes out the 4th of October, which is in a few days, so I'm very, very excited. The next book on this list is called Where the Lost Ones Go. This book comes out the 11th of October, and it's a middle-grade contemporary fantasy following a biracial sapphic main character who attempts to contact her late grandma beyond the grave. I'm so excited to read this book because, if you didn't know, this book is one of my most anticipated 2022 new releases, since this author is one of my absolute favorite authors of all time, which is something I only apply to authors where the majority of their books are 4 and 5 stars, and all of Akemi Bowman's books in the past have been absolutely so amazing. For example, their middle-grade debut last year, Generation Misfits, was one of my favorite books of 2021, so I expect great things from this one. It just sounds like it's going to be so good and absolutely so awesome, not just with the queer sapphic lesbian representation, but also with like the plot and the characters and everything. I'm so excited to read this book. I love reading middle-grade contemporaries, especially when they're sapphic and especially when they're Asian as well. So anyway, all that to say, even aside from the representation, I'm so excited to read this book because I just know that Akemi is a genius, and I love their books so much. So anyway, all that to say, this book comes out the 11th of October, and I'm absolutely so excited to read it. The next book on this list is called The Glass Witch. This book comes out the 18th of October, and it's a middle-grade fantasy following a plus-size witch who accidentally enacts a curse, waking a 300-year-old witch hunter from the grave and must save her town. This book sounds like it's going to be absolutely so good and so whimsical and so wholesome. First of all, the cover is so cute, and it's absolutely so well done, and on Goodreads it says that this book is advertised for fans of Ghost Squad, which I really enjoyed when I read it either earlier this year or last year, and Witch Boy, which I haven't read yet, but I really want to. This concept just sounds so awesome and so well done. I love reading books with underdog main characters and characters who don't feel like they're good enough. You know what I mean? Because it's like so relatable. Anyway, this book sounds like it's going to be so good and absolutely so awesome. So all that to say, this book comes out the 18th of October, and I'm absolutely so excited to read it. The next book on this list is called Hazel is Gonna Win This One. This book also comes out the 18th of October, and it's a middle-aged contemporary following a sapphic main character who devises a plan with her friends to try to take down the school's golden boy after discovering that he keeps sexually harassing her friends. I'm so excited to read this book because, first of all, the concept hits a little too close to home. Second of all, Jake Meyer Olo, the author of Almost Flying, rated it 5 stars, and I trust their taste. And third of all, I love reading stories about young people standing up for themselves, because that's something that my younger self would have needed to hear, even though she didn't know it at the time. Literally, this book sounds like it's going to be so good and absolutely so necessary and so timely and so well done. So I just really hope this book is absolutely so amazing and is worth all of its hype and so much more. Literally, the Goodreads average rating is 4.56, which is so high, which means that I think this book is going to be so good and absolutely so awesome. Like, I'm so excited to read it. Anyway, all that to say, this book comes out the 18th of October, like I mentioned, and I'm really looking forward to it. The next book on this list also comes out the 18th of October, and it's called Marikit in the ocean of stars. Please let me know if I've mispronounced the main character's name. I will find out when I read this book on the 18th, but since this video comes out before the 18th, I don't know if I'm saying her name correctly, so please correct me. I never mispronounce characters' names or authors' names on purpose, so please correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, this book is a middle-grade Filipino-inspired fantasy following a main character who embarks on a quest in the world of gods and spirits to save her family from a sinister shadow god. This book sounds like it's going to be absolutely so good. First of all, I love reading South Asian-inspired fantasies, and honestly, I don't remember the last time I read a book that was specifically Filipino-inspired, so I'm so excited for the culture and the world building and all of that. Second of all, the plot and the concept sounds so awesome and absolutely so cool and so well done. Literally, this book sounds like it's going to be absolutely so good, and the cover is so pretty that I really hope that the inside is just as pretty. You know what I mean? Anyway, all that to say, this book comes out the 18th of October, and I'm absolutely so excited to read it. The last book on this list, and certainly not the least, is called Nothing Sung and Nothing Spoken. This book also comes out the 18th of October, and it's a YA sapphic historical fiction set in the 1930s Berlin about the swing youth, and the synopsis reminds me of The Most Dazzling Girl in Berlin, which I really enjoyed when I read it in March, but more importantly, this author wrote Who I Was With Her 2 years ago, and that book was absolutely so awesome. This book, like Where the Lost Ones Go, is one of my most anticipated releases of the entire year because Who I Was With Her was absolutely so awesome, and it better live up to that expectation because the synopsis sounds like it's going to be so awesome and so good, and the amount of books that I've read about set in this time period in this specific country, I can count on one hand, so I'm so excited for this book to not only be educational and entertaining, but also be so lyrical and so well done. The amount of sapphic historical fiction books I've read also, I can count on one hand, so I'm so excited to read this book, not just for the awesome representation, but also for the story and the plot and the world building and the history. You know what I mean? Anyway, all that to say, I'm absolutely so excited to read this book, and like I said before, it comes out the 18th of October, so that day I'm going to have a field day. It's going to be awesome. I'm so excited for this book, because I really hope it's going to be everything that I want, and so much more. So, in conclusion, in October, I guess I'll be reading lots of sapphic books, which is ideal for LGBT plus History Month, which is in October in America, and lots of middle grade, which is ideal for me, because that's what I'm known for. I literally love middle grade so much. Not to say that I love it more than YA, actually, but anyway, I digress. I hope that October is a great reading month, not just for the quality, but also in quantity, like how September has been. If you enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate to give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below the star emoji if you made it all the way to the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye, and good luck with your October TBR.